The 1960s was a golden age for American muscle cars, with manufacturers competing to create the most powerful and thrilling vehicles of the era. Ford's Mustang, introduced in 1964, quickly became an icon of performance and style, evolving from a sporty compact into a true muscle car powerhouse. While many Mustangs captured the public's imagination, a select few stood above the rest with their extraordinary power, innovative engineering, and racing pedigree. Here are the 8 most powerful Ford Mustangs ever built during the 1960s, remembered for their blistering performance and lasting impact on automotive history. Dear viewer, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your support. Number 8. The 1965 Shelby GT350. The 1965 Shelby GT350 marked the beginning of Ford's legendary partnership with Carroll Shelby, transforming the already popular Mustang into a serious performance machine. Starting with the Mustang Fastback, Shelby made significant modifications to create a car that was both powerful and agile. The heart of the GT350 was its modified 289 cubic inch K-Code EE8 engine, which received a high-rise intake manifold, larger 4-barrel carburetor, and tubular tri-Y headers, boosting output from the stock 271 horsepower to an impressive 306 horsepower. Shelby didn't stop with engine modifications. The GT350 received a larger front stabilizer bar, Coney shock absorbers, and a Detroit locker rear end that dramatically improved handling. The transmission was limited to a single option, a Borg-Warner T10 4-speed manual that allowed drivers to extract maximum performance from the enhanced V8. To reduce weight, the rear seats were removed, and fiberglass hood and front apron were installed, further enhancing the power-to-weight ratio. The GT350's racing pedigree was undeniable. The special R model variants dominated the SCCA B production class, winning the championship in 1965, 1966, and 1967, with only 562 units produced for 1965, including 34 R models. This Mustang's combination of raw power, precise handling, and exclusivity established it as the blueprint for performance Mustangs to follow. Its distinctive Wimbledon white paint with Guardsman blue stripes became iconic, making the GT350 immediately recognizable as a thoroughbred among Mustangs. Number 7. The 1966 Shelby GT350H, Rent-A-Racer. The 1966 Shelby GT350H, affectionately known as the Rent-A-Racer, resulted from one of the most unusual partnerships in automotive history, an alliance between Shelby American, Ford, and the Hertz Rental Car Company. This exclusive program allowed everyday Americans to rent a high-performance Shelby Mustang for the weekend, creating a unique opportunity for driving enthusiasts who couldn't afford to purchase such a car outright. Most of these special Mustangs were finished in distinctive black paint with gold Le Mans stripes, creating an instantly recognizable appearance. Under the hood, the GT350H featured the same modified 289 cubic inch V8 as the standard GT350, generating 306 horsepower and 329 pound-feet of torque. While most were equipped with automatic transmissions for the rental market, a small number received 4-speed manuals. The performance was impressive, with 0 to 60 mph times of around 6.6 seconds, exceptional for the mid-1960s. The suspension and braking components matched those of the standard GT350, giving the Rent-A-Racer the same sharp handling and stopping power. Hertz ordered approximately 1,000 of these special Mustangs, creating one of the most legendary marketing programs in automotive history. However, this program also led to some notorious stories of renters who would remove the high-performance parts for their own vehicles over the weekend, returning the cars with standard components instead. Other GT350Hs were reportedly returned with evidence they had been used in amateur racing events, despite rental restrictions. This combination of performance, distinctive styling, and colorful history has made the GT350H one of the most collectible Mustangs from the era, with surviving examples commanding premium prices at auctions today. Number 6. The 1966 Shelby GT500 Paxton Supercharged. The 1966 Shelby GT500 Paxton Supercharged represents one of the earliest factory-authorized supercharged Mustangs, showcasing Ford and Shelby's willingness to push performance boundaries even further. Building upon the already potent GT350 platform, Shelby American offered the Paxton Supercharger as a dealer-installed option, creating what was arguably the most powerful production Mustang available at that time. The Paxton setup forced additional air into the 289 cubic inch V8, dramatically increasing both horsepower and torque. With the supercharger installed, power output jumped from the standard GT350's 306 horsepower to approximately 390 horsepower, a remarkable figure for a relatively small displacement engine in the mid-1960s. The additional power transformed the already quick GT350 into a genuine straight-line monster capable of quarter-mile times in the low 13-second range, rivaling many larger displacement muscle cars. The supercharged GT350 maintained all the handling capabilities of the standard version, while adding the intoxicating whine of the Paxton unit under acceleration. These supercharged models were exceedingly rare, with estimates suggesting fewer than 25 were built with the dealer-installed option in 1966. The supercharger added significantly to the already premium price of the GT350, putting it out of reach for many buyers. Additionally, the added complexity and power raised concerns about long-term reliability, though these proved largely unfounded when properly maintained. The supercharged GT350 demonstrated Shelby's commitment to extracting maximum performance from the Mustang platform, foreshadowing future developments in forced induction that would become more common in later decades. Today, authentic supercharged GT350s from this era are among the most valuable and sought-after Mustangs ever produced, representing the peak of 1960s Shelby performance engineering. Number 5. The 1967 Shelby GT500. The 1967 Shelby GT500 marked a significant evolution in the Shelby Mustang lineup, introducing big block power to create what Carroll Shelby himself called the first real car I've built. Based on Ford's redesigned 1967 Mustang, the GT500 featured aggressive styling changes, including a unique fiberglass front end, functional hood scoops, sequential taillights borrowed from the Mercury Cougar, and distinctive side scoops. These modifications weren't merely cosmetic. They improved cooling and aerodynamics, helping to manage the tremendous heat and power generated by the massive engine. The heart of the GT500 was the formidable 428 cubic inch Police Interceptor V8, conservatively rated at 355 horsepower, but actually producing closer to 400 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. This engine transformed the Mustang from a nimble pony car into a straight-line missile capable of 0 to 60 miles per hour in approximately 6.5 seconds and quarter-mile times in the mid-14-second range. Impressive figures for a street-legal production car of the era. The GT500 was available with either a 4-speed manual or 3-speed automatic transmission, with the manual being the preferred choice for performance enthusiasts. The GT500's interior received significant upgrades as well, including a roll bar, wood-rimmed steering wheel, and additional gauges to monitor the big block engine. Production was limited to just 2,048 units for 1967, making original examples highly sought after by collectors. The GT500's combination of big block power, distinctive styling, and limited production established it as one of the most desirable Mustangs ever created. Its iconic status was further cemented by its appearance in popular culture, including a heavily modified version featured in the film Gone in 60 Seconds as the legendary Eleanor. Number 4. The 1968 Shelby GT500 KR King of the Road. The 1968 Shelby GT500 KR earned its King of the Road moniker through sheer dominance in the muscle car hierarchy. When Chevrolet planned to use the name for one of their vehicles, Carroll Shelby quickly trademarked it and applied it to his most potent Mustang creation yet. The GT500 KR arrived midway through the 1968 model year, replacing the standard GT500 with a more powerful engine and additional performance upgrades that elevated it above all competitors. Underneath the fiberglass hood with functional air scoops lurked the legendary 428 Cobra Jet V8, officially rated at a conservative 335 horsepower, but actually producing closer to 400 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque. This engine featured larger valve heads, an aggressive camshaft, and a ram air induction system that forced cool air into the engine at higher speeds. The Cobra Jet's massive torque allowed the GT500 KR to accelerate with authority from virtually any speed, making it one of the most fearsome street machines of its day. The GT500 KR received suspension modifications to handle the increased power, including a larger front sway bar, staggered rear shocks, and heavy-duty front disc brakes. Available as either a fastback or convertible, with a choice of 4-speed manual or 3-speed automatic transmission, the KR offered a combination of luxury and performance unmatched by its contemporaries. Only 1,570 GT 500,000 rupees were produced, 1,053 fastbacks, and 517 convertibles, making them rare even by Shelby standards. The combination of the legendary Cobra Jet engine, limited production numbers, and the bold King of the Road designation have made the GT500 KR one of the most coveted Mustangs ever created, with pristine examples commanding prices exceeding $200,000 at auction. Number 3. The 1969 Boss 429 Mustang. The 1969 Boss 429 Mustang was created for a singular purpose: to homologate Ford's new 429 cubic-inch V8 engine for NASCAR racing. This special Mustang represented Ford's most ambitious performance engineering project of the decade, resulting in what many consider the most exotic production Mustang ever built. The massive semi-Hemi 429 engine, with its distinctive hemispherical combustion chambers, was simply too large to fit in the Mustang's engine bay without significant modifications. Ford contracted Carcraft of Brighton, Michigan, to essentially hand-build each Boss 429, relocating the shock towers, widening the track, and modifying the engine compartment to accommodate the massive power plant. The Boss 429 engine was officially rated at 375 horsepower, though this figure was widely understood to be deliberately underrated to keep insurance companies at bay. In reality, the engine produced well over 400 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque in stock form, with potential for much more through relatively simple modifications. The engine featured aluminum cylinder heads, a 735 cubic feet per minute Holley 4-barrel carburetor, and forged internal components designed to withstand the rigors of high RPM racing. Each Boss 429 was equipped with a close-ratio 4-speed manual transmission, 3.91 traction lock rear axle, and competition suspension with front and rear anti-roll bars. Despite its racing pedigree, the Boss 429 was somewhat tame on the street due to its conservative factory tuning and restrictive exhaust manifolds. Its true potential was revealed on the racetrack or when modified for maximum performance. Only 859 Boss 429 Mustangs were produced for 1969, with each receiving a unique NASCAR-inspired KK serial number. The combination of limited production, race-bred engineering, and the hand-built nature of these special Mustangs has cemented the Boss 429's status as one of the most valuable and significant Mustangs ever created, regularly commanding prices exceeding $300,000 for pristine examples. Number 2. The 1969/1970 Shelby GT500 Super Snake. the 1969/1970. Shelby GT500 Super Snake represents the ultimate evolution of the Shelby Mustang in the 1960s, pushing performance to new heights just as the original muscle car era was reaching its zenith. Building on the already formidable GT500 platform, the Super Snake received numerous enhancements that transformed it into a street-legal race car. While technically spanning the 1969 to 1970 model years, these final Shelby Mustangs were all built in 1969, with leftover units being retitled as 1970 models. Marking the end of Shelby's involvement with the Mustang program during this era, the Super Snake was powered by an upgraded version of the 428 Cobra jet engine, featuring a high-performance camshaft, upgraded intake manifold, and a more efficient cooling system. Power output was boosted to approximately 420 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque, enabling 0 to 60 miles per hour acceleration in under 6 seconds and quarter-mile times in the high 13-second range. Some Super Snakes reportedly received even more powerful engines, including a handful of special models equipped with the NASCAR-bred 429 engine, though documentation on these ultra-rare variants remains sparse. Visually, the 1969/1970 Super Snake was the most aggressive Shelby Mustang yet, featuring a deeply sculpted fiberglass front end, hood pins, wide racing stripes, and distinctive Super Snake badging. The interior received special Shelby touches, including a roll bar, wood-rimmed steering wheel, and unique gauges. The suspension was upgraded with stiffer springs, adjustable shocks, and larger sway bars to improve handling, while power front disc brakes provided reliable stopping power. With total production numbers under 300 units, these final Shelby Mustangs of the 1960s represent the culmination of the Shelby-Ford partnership during the 1960s original muscle car era, combining raw power with sophisticated engineering to create what many consider the ultimate expression of the first-generation Mustang platform. Number 1. The 1967 Shelby GT500 Super Snake OneOff. The 1967 Shelby GT500 Super Snake OneOff stands as the ultimate expression of Shelby performance engineering in the 1960s, representing a no-compromise approach to creating the most powerful Mustang possible. This unique vehicle was built for a Goodyear tire testing program, designed to showcase the durability of Goodyear's new Thunderbolt tires under extreme conditions. What began as a standard 1967 GT500 was transformed into something extraordinary when Carroll Shelby and his team decided to replace the already potent 428 Police Interceptor engine with a race-derived 427 cubic-inch V8 from the Le Mans-winning Ford GT40 program. This special lightweight 427 engine featured a unique aluminum water pump, forged aluminum pistons, a high-performance camshaft, and special race heads capable of withstanding sustained high RPM operation. The result was a staggering 600-plus horsepower, unheard of for a street car in 1967. The drivetrain was similarly upgraded with a heavy-duty clutch, special rear axle cooler, and transmission modifications to handle the massive power increase. During the Goodyear test at Texas International Speedway, the Super Snake averaged 142 miles per hour for 500 miles, with test driver Don McCain reportedly pushing it to 170 miles per hour on the straights. Despite plans to produce a limited run of these Super Snakes, the extraordinary price tag meant there were no buyers for additional cars. The OneOff Super Snake remained unique, passing through several collectors' hands before selling at auction in 2019 for an astounding $2.2 million, making it the most valuable Mustang ever sold at that time. The 1967 Super Snake's combination of race car engineering, documented history, and absolute exclusivity has cemented its status as the holy grail of 1960s Mustangs. A no-compromise performance machine that represented the absolute pinnacle of Shelby-Ford collaboration during the golden age of American performance cars. The 1960s Ford Mustangs represent a pivotal chapter in American automotive history, demonstrating how a single platform could evolve from an affordable sporty car into a range of high-performance machines. From Carroll Shelby's racing-inspired GT350 to the NASCAR-homologated Boss 429 and the one-of-a-kind Super Snake, these 8 powerful Mustangs showcased Ford's commitment to performance during the golden age of muscle cars. Each model pushed the boundaries of what was possible, combining innovative engineering with raw power to create vehicles that continue to captivate enthusiasts decades later. While modern Mustangs may surpass these classics in absolute performance metrics, the originals remain the foundation upon which Ford's performance legacy was built. Genuine American icons that transformed how the world viewed American performance cars forever.